Hello, everyone. Here's a quick look at the top trending stories making international news headlines today. NATO's Secretary General says Finland and Sweden could be quickly admitted to NATO if Russia invades Ukraine. For years, Finland and Sweden have remained neutral and have not joined any military alliance. Authorities say both countries say they will not back down to any threats from Russia and prefer to handle their own country's security, but they are open to discussions on joining NATO. Here's a quick look at how COVID is affecting countries around the world. New Zealand's Prime Minister canceled her wedding due to a new wave of Omicron cases in the country. The country is under the highest level of COVID restrictions, which limits how many people can attend events. In China, officials are scrambling to contain COVID outbreaks before the Winter Olympics start next month. Olympians will be completely separate from the rest of China, but if an athlete tests positive, that could mean the end of their Olympic dreams. And in India, a group of parents have signed a petition asking the government to reopen schools, which have been closed for more than 600 days. The parents say they want their children to be safe, but they're also concerned about their education, and they are afraid a generation of children are going to be left behind. An Australian man accused of kidnapping a 4-year-old little girl has pled guilty to the crime. The little girl disappeared from a campground, and 18 days later, she was found in a room in the man's home playing with toys. The man is currently being held in a maximum security prison awaiting sentencing. Protesters in Mexico are demanding justice after 3 journalists were killed in the past 2 weeks. The protesters say they were shocked by the killings and are calling on authorities to be thorough and transparent in their investigation. Mexico is considered one of the deadliest countries for journalists. Check out this incredible video from Spain. An off-duty police officer walked into a supermarket and noticed a man standing next to a nervous-looking cashier, and the cash register was open. The officer asked the cashier if everything was okay, but the suspect answered. That's when the officer grabbed the suspect, threw him to the ground, and removed a knife from his hands. This video has been seen more than 220,000 times. Wow. In Honduras, Xiomara Castro was sworn in as the country's first female president. During her campaign, she promised to wipe out the systemic problems that cause poverty, corruption, and violence. She won the election by a landslide. Several international leaders were in attendance for her inauguration, including U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he will cooperate with the investigation into parties he held at his home during the COVID lockdown. But he will not resign, even though opposition leaders are pressuring him to do so. Police say those parties breached COVID rules and could be considered a criminal offense. A report on the parties is expected to be released this week. In Hong Kong, thousands of pet owners are flying their pets out of the country on private jets to ensure their safety. Last month, Hong Kong authorities made a startling announcement. They blamed an outbreak of the COVID Delta variant on hamsters. They ordered the closure of every pet shop that sold small animals. And they killed thousands of hamsters, white rats, rabbits, chinchillas, and guinea pigs. Now, private charter flights for pets are a booming industry in Hong Kong. Some pet owners are paying $22,000 for a person and their dog to fly direct from Hong Kong to New York. Sign1News will be broadcasting international news updates every Sunday. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. You can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku. See you next week.